Welcome back. If you are a frustrated Hornets fan, then you're in good company this week because we're talking about that draw at Stoke with Rio and Luke. Welcome along to Where Hornets Walk. It's 20 minutes of Watford chat. Coming up this week, we're talking about the frustration of backwards passing. Selvik, he's keeping clean sheets. Is the goalkeeper impressing you as much as his social media? And we're going to get Rio, Luke, and others to choose their February Player of the Month. Plus, we're talking about the playoff final and manifesting who we'd like to face should we get there on May the 24th. Welcome back, Rio and Luke. Hope you're feeling better, Luke, from last week. We've missed talking to you about Luton. Do you want to just give us your quick Luton nugget?
Yeah, it was honestly absolutely brilliant. A lot of the best of games in terms of excitement, but we had it wrapped up in the first half. It was a great game to be at. Really pleased. Luton they were absolutely terrible, to be fair. I can't really see them staying up after the other day, but yeah, honestly chuffed after last week. And again, apologies I couldn't make it last week due to illness, but I'll take 3 points any day for the food poisoning I got.
Oh, brilliant. In the comments before we get started, can you name for us, please, your player of the month for February? And we'll give some of these a read out next week. Right, Rio. I'm sorry if anybody went to Stoke and watched that game. People were saying, not sure what's going on with this slightly new tactic away from home of this backward passing and trying to keep ball. It says some fans are saying it doesn't suit us. It's dull, it's turgid, and it means that we are not scoring any goals. Do you agree, Rio?
I just feel we've got quite a bit of a lack of creativity with bar out. You don't have many players who can drive it to defend. Hence why trying to keep the ball more and more intact passing rather than putting it down the flanks for one of our wingers to chase. Because the likes of Sissoko, Kiembe, they don't have much pace, but there wasn't nothing happened first half, and second half we were decent, but yeah, just lacked that end product. But it's good to see we're defensively secure with 3 clean sheets in a row. So there's some positives.
Yeah, we'll get onto that one in a second. Cheers. H says it's very disappointing. Louza and TDP constant backwards passing. Shakovatsi was knackered and useless. And a guy not good enough. And Abankwa good, but needs to learn to play a simple pass once he's got up the pitch. Dumbia trying, but easily marshalled by their centre backs. Let's bring Aaron in here. How are you doing, Aaron? Oh, jumped up to the top there for some reason. There we go. There he is. Right. Welcome, Aaron. Luke, do you agree with this backwards passing statement?
Not entirely. There was a stat which I've seen which has kind of baffled me a little bit, and there is truth to it. Around possession stats, when we've dominated more of the ball, we've actually got less points per game stat. And I'm not one to go on about stats, but it actually is true. We are a kind of a team where we have possession, we don't seem to make enough of it, and we're actually a team who play better on the back foot. Hence why the points per game stat. I personally like to watch us play more on the ball. I remember at the start of the season, I used to say that we're dominating games at home, and it's more enjoyable to watch if we have the ball. And I think us and Stoke would probably, well, personally, myself, I'm quite happy with a point. And they would be with how their form has been. Us away hasn't been too great, but I think with our home games we've got now, it's our home form which will get us to potentially playoffs or solid top half table position. I was quite happy with a point, and once I saw the stats, I thought, yeah, that sounds like a 0-0. We had 60% possession. We've kept the ball, not really created anything. They haven't created anything. Let's just go home and both share the point.
Okay. Fair comment. Hi, Aaron. Can you hear us all right?
Oh, yeah, sorry. Yep, here now.
Gotcha. Okay. JB says no ability to finish in the final third. I'm glad the genius owner addressed that in the final transfer window. Sheepmaster says so frustrating. Any quality in the final third, and we win that. I can't remember one decent cross. Are they right here, Aaron, that a decent striker would have polished Stoke off quite handsomely?
Yeah, I don't even think that. I don't think we created enough in and around the box for a striker to really finish anything. I think it was just all round. We just looked lost for any idea when it comes to actually creating something dangerous. I mean, Larouche had his worst performance for a long time. I mean, the fact he lasted to the 89th minute was pretty impressive because, like one of the comments there said, we couldn't put a decent cross in, and that was pretty much all he was trying to do.
Yeah, there was some fallout Larucci, Rio. I've liked to have seen Wiley on for Larucci earlier on. Do you agree with that?
It came as a bit of a surprise to me when I saw the team news at 2 p.m. that he was on the bench, because Cleverly said before the Luton game he was still 1, 2, 3 weeks away from even training, let alone being in the squad. So I don't think he came on for Larucci because it was a high stake game. Stoke could have won it at the end. We could have won it second half, and I don't think he was fully fit. I think after that international break, maybe that's when we'll see more of Wiley. Why we signed him when he's fit with about 6 games to go, I don't know. But there's rumours of us signing Larucci on a permanent, and before yesterday, he was pretty good the last 3-4 games. But I feel he's a bit unfit, and it's surprising to me, as Aaron said, that he lost until the 89th minute.
Yeah. Any more fallouts or discussions from the Stoke game before we move on to talk about Millwall?
Abankwa was superb.
Okay. Brilliant. Goalkeeper then, before we finish on this particular topic. Selvik, Luke, clean sheets, not associated with Watford much, or certainly away from home. But what's that now? 3 in a row?
3 in a row.
Yeah, looking good.
Yeah,
I think get back in.
No, because stats don't lie. He's been great. I think. It's not just to him himself, but we have had a really solid back four in front of him and a really good centre back pairing within those 3 games. Abankwa came on leaps and bounds, within his sort of short term time he's had here so far. And I think he's been really outstanding. Obviously, Selvik's done a really good job, but at the end of the day, he's not going to keep a clean sheet without a good defence in front of him. And I think that's what we've sorted out in this last 3 games, where we've looked really solid. And I feel like I'm going to games now where I'm comfortable with how we're defending. I'm comfortable with teams taking long shots, and I'm also comfortable with Selvik being on the ball. I think that's still somewhat fans haven't got used to that, with him like playing really short compared to Backman being very, not too comfortable on the ball where we get worried. I think what fans need to have more trust in Selvik, especially at home where the atmosphere seems to be getting a little bit dodgy when he's on the ball. But he's been really good. Really pleased so far.
Yeah, brilliant. Millwall then up next, Aaron. Now this was a game of the season actually. At the start of the year. What have we learned about Watford from that hot opening day in August? From that game to now.
I mean, it tells you everything that on the score sheet that day you had Kayembe scoring from a corner. I don't think Kayembe had a sniff at goal since like that start of the season. And the winner of the game was Rajovic, who's apparently now permanently gone. Just waiting for the official confirmation on that one. So, I mean, a very vastly different Watford team. And I think a vastly different Millwall team. So, although that game was pretty spectacular, especially for the opening day, I think we can't really take too much from our last meeting.
I mean, Millwall have been in the press obviously this week, Rio. I don't know what your read on that is. Do you think they get a hard press because it is Millwall? Do you think if a Watford player does that, we'd be reading about it days after?
Yeah, it's because of their reputation. I actually saw an interesting TikTok about a view on it the other day when was it Mane did similar to Edison.
Yeah,
Obviously, this way around, it's the goalkeeper on the attacker, not the other way around. But he has to go for the ball, and a keeper they don't really use their head because why would they? And obviously Mateta. Hopefully he is fine soon. I saw he had about 25 stitches, but yeah, it's just Millwall's reputation, and you have to go for the ball at the end of the day.
Yeah, okay. Coming back to that point Aaron's just made, let's have a look at more recent news. Watford Way. If you don't follow them, please go and do so. It's reported that Brøndby have reached an agreement with Watford then Luke to sign Rajovic on a permanent basis. Aaron's comment here says, I know every window is important, but finding our next number 9 is vital to where we go as a football club. Whilst Dumbia is promising, we need someone ready to come in straight away, not just to get results, but to give him a chance to develop properly, managing his match load. It's hard for you to disagree with this tweet, given that the guy who said it is right next to you, but do you agree?
Yeah, I completely agree.
You don't have to.
No, I do agree with Aaron. Don't worry. I would, if I didn't, I would have. But I think this is where our recruitment's been really, really poor in the last sort of, I don't even know, many, many years, where we haven't signed a good enough competent striker in a long time. Like I always bring up, Andre Gray, our biggest signing in terms of a striker in that position. He wasn't great. And since then, we've never really got anyone like Rajovic. Don't get me wrong, he was a player that if you get him in the right position, he's all right, but he just couldn't get there. And I feel like it's just that maybe it's just our luck. We just haven't got lucky with our signings that they haven't came good. It might be one of those things. I just really think the strike department's where we really, really have struggled to get the right player. But I think it is one of the hardest positions to fill because if you don't score enough goals and in enough time, you get a lot of backlash straight away. Like look at Hoyland, for example, how much they've like United pay for him. He's useless, but he could have came good. It is a hard position to really get right, and I feel like it's something we haven't done in a long, long time.
Yeah, Aaron.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I think it's not just important that we need someone in terms of a results business and get us up the table kind of thing. We need someone that if we are going to have these younger players we sign, like Dumbia, you can't just put all the responsibility on a 19-year-old, 20-year-old striker every time. You've got to have someone that can come in there almost. I mean, I'm not saying it has to be someone to like mentor and take them under their wing, just someone that can shoulder some of the responsibility of getting goals. Because otherwise, you're putting far too much pressure on them at too young an age, and you're not going to get any fruitful development out of them.
Okay, brilliant. Well said. Before we move on, just want to say a massive thank you to everyone who has subscribed to the channel. Got over 100 now. That is a massive, kudos to you. Thank you for engaging with it. We know there's plenty of other. You could fill your whole week listening to Watford content online. There's so much of it around. There's more. I think there's more of it than there is Leeds content. I think we actually looked at. So thank you for choosing this one. We love making this 20-minute chat. A week, let's hope for some goals this weekend, shall we then, to talk about. Let's move on, though. February is now over, Rio, so it's time for February Player of the Month. As obviously, the way we do it here is trying not to go with the obvious and try and pick the player that just misses out from the club's view. But who would you go with?
Ooh, well, unsung hero.
That's the one, yeah.
Well, my Player of the Month toss-up is between Louza and Abankwa, personally. I'm going to go with Louza because I never thought he'd get back to his best after that injury where he broke his leg away at Millwall, and I think our upturn in good form is because of how good he's been. And we were saying how midfield is an issue. It is, but maybe only depth-wise now. Maybe we don't need a starter, and yeah, he's just transformed us. He's very good off the ball, which you wouldn't expect with such a classy player on the ball. And yeah, his passing and his work rate is so good. And if we do get playoffs, it'll be because of him.
Good shout. Luke?
My two, again, were in between Abankwa and Louza, so I'll go for the other one. I'll go for Abankwa. I think from, like I said earlier, how well he's done since he's came in, it was a typical Udinese signing where I think what fans are a little bit like, okay, we'll give him a go. He hasn't had much game time. And after that tackle in that yellow card within the first 40 seconds of his Watford career at Derby, thought, oh my God, here we go. But he has been unbelievable since. And I've just seen tweets every single week and go, I think we've got a £20 million player on our hands here. But then on the opposite side, we've now got, he's going to just go back to Udinese and we're never going to see him again. And we're going to fall in love with a lone player. And it's just going to be even more annoying that he's going to Udinese when they've got two brilliant centre-halves already. Let us just have one. But Abankwa's been absolutely brilliant. I really hope we keep on to him because we really needed a really solid centre-half for a long, long time. And it seems like we might just have it.
Brilliant. Chance. Aaron, has that left you in much?
I think those two have hit the nail on the head. I mean, the other one you could throw in is Georgie, but you could put him in for every month. So what's the point, really? But no, I think I would go with Abankwa as well. Although Louza's sort of resurgence can't go unnoted. It has sort of been the tale of the season that we didn't think would happen. But Abankwa's just proving everything. Probably all three of us and many other fans said totally wrong. We all thought he was just a token Udinese signing, but with each performance, he tells us otherwise. So I hope he pushes on and maybe wins a few more player months.
Right, great shouts. Thank you very much. Let us know yours in the comments below. We'll read some of these out next week. Before we finish, then we're talking about the playoffs. Last week, you relegated three sides that you didn't like. This week, we're manifesting the playoff final, asking all our 24 clubs who they'd like to see in the playoff final. So here we are now, 3 points outside the playoffs, undefeated in the last three. It's looking good for you, isn't it? Are you slightly more optimistic than you were a month ago when we asked you this question?
Yeah, definitely. That's what 2 wins can do, beating Middlesbrough and Luton, and then suddenly in the picture. I mean, look at Coventry winning 8 out of 9. I mean, that is very hard to do, but they're near the bottom end of the table, near Luton in November, December, and now since Lampard's come in, they're up there. But I think our next 3-4 fixtures against the likes of Millwall, Swansea, Oxford, Plymouth, it's make or break, because those are what you say would be the easier fixtures, because then after that you've got the likes of West Brom, Blackburn and Bristol City who are around us. But I think maybe we've just come short of the playoffs due to our lack of depth. And if one of Louza or Georgie gets injured, that could cost us severely, as we don't have adequate replacements. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the playoffs, whoever it is in it.
Yeah, brilliant. Somebody did say, it was a tweet, I didn't grab it, Luke, but it said it would be the most Watford thing ever if Watford miss out on 6th place to Blackburn, given their new manager. What have you thought of their appointment?
It's a safe bet, isn't it? For the football he played with us was very, very dull. But to be fair, it can get you places, and I think for where Blackburn are, they can creep in. We play them right at the end. It's our very last away game of the season, actually. Personally, I don't think we'll make it. I'm just quite happy to get a top half. From what we said at the start of the season, top half is excellent compared to what we would have thought. I think it's been a really good season so far, but I do think it will be Burnley, Sunderland, Cov, and it's a toss-up between Borough and maybe Blackburn. And I hope it's Sunderland who go up out of them, because it most likely be a Sunderland-Burnley final if you work it out like that.
Okay.
But yeah, just missed it.
Let's have a look then. Yes, so come on then, Aaron. It's a nice warm May afternoon when Watford are pretty safe. And you've got a beer in your hand and your shorts and sandals on. What do you want this championship playoff final to be on the 24th of May?
Obviously, the romantic in me just wants us to make it, despite everything that's happened this season. But like Luke, I don't think we will. Although I think we'll go close. And if we take 10 points from the next 4, and you ask me after, then I might start to really believe it's possible. But if I'm to take Watford out of the equation, Coventry are flying right now, but I can't see, if Burnley miss out, I can't see them on automatic. I can't see them not winning the playoffs.
Okay.
Such boring football.
All right, let us know which playoff final. Oops, I've lost him. Oh, I pressed the wrong button. There we go. That's what you get for choosing Burnley. There you go. Nice. Let us know your dream playoff final in the comments below. Right, you three, hope for more goals against Millwall this week, and then enjoy the game, and we will catch up with you in 7 days' time. Thank you very much for watching. Drop us a subscribe if you just found us. That'd be absolutely amazing. See you in 7 days.